And the only member of the Texas congressional delegation to welcome Trump to Dallas at last week's rally joins us now, Representative Michael Burgess of the 26th Congressional District. Morning.
Good morning, and let me just wish a happy Father's Day to your listeners. It's a great day to be in Texas, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's always a great day to be in Texas. Well, let's start with why you are encouraging Trump, because you actually started out as a Cruz supporter. So why are you now encouraging voters to side with Trump?
Well, first off, I supported Senator Cruz when he ran for Senate. So as I told him when he called asking for support well over a year ago, he's kind of a pre-existing condition with me. Of course, I support Senator Cruz, but when his campaign concluded that Tuesday night in Indiana, I knew very quickly that I needed to shift gears, and I needed to do so because, look, the alternative is going to be so severe. So I called the people in the Trump campaign and said, unfortunately, my guy is no longer in it. I need to do what I can to support the man who's going to be the nominee, and that is Donald Trump. So it's not just supporting the Republican nominee, it's endorsing Donald Trump, and I do so wholeheartedly.
And what do you say to the fact that Senator Cruz even is not yet supporting or publicly supporting?
It was a difficult campaign. There's none of us can even imagine what that was like in the eye of the storm during that time. So I am certainly willing to give Senator Cruz all the space and time he needs to come to whatever conclusion that he and his family feels is in his best interest. But for me, going forward, I recognize we are going to have a different president next year. Life will be considerably different if it is a President Trump versus a President Clinton. And I've got to do everything in my power to ensure that it is a President Trump.
This isn't just a question, though, about Senator Cruz. Senator Cornyn somehow couldn't schedule time to come into Dallas for Mr. Trump's rally. You're seeing former President George W. Bush, Dallas's own. There was a story last week saying that he is now campaigning for senatorial candidates that he's worried will be hurt down ballot by a Trump campaign. How concerned are you about your party's fortunes in this coming election with Donald Trump at the top of the ballot?
Well, at this point, I need to be more concerned about my country than I do my party. Look, I saw President George W. Bush a couple of weeks ago in Fort Worth, and sort of the last person in the photo line to greet him, and I didn't realize it. I walked in the room and shook his hand, and what just came out of my mouth was spontaneous. Man, I miss you. It was a different time with Bush in the White House than it has been during the current administration. Sure, I love and respect and revere George W. Bush, but that's in the past. We've got something happening in the future, and to the extent that I can control things, I must do that.
So we've got people who are Republicans we've been talking to who say, okay, we have to unite behind the party, we have to support Trump. And it seems like some of these people we're talking to really feel like they're stretching to say they want to support Mr. Trump.
But
what is it that you like about him? Do you really like him?
What I like about him is that he got more votes in a Republican primary than any Republican candidate ever since recorded history has gotten.
But do you like him as a person? Do you like him as a candidate? If Hillary Clinton were not his opponent, he is where he is right now, would you like him?
Well, a year ago, when his campaign was just a couple of days old, I honestly didn't know. I mean, I knew what I had seen on television. I didn't watch his syndicated show on The Apprentice, but I have learned a lot. I certainly learned a lot in the last 6 weeks, but I've learned a lot through the campaign. The night that he was in, I think it was South Carolina, and the New York values question came up, and I thought, go get him. This is a good place to be in South Carolina. But Mr. Trump's answer to that question, his answer to that question about the New York first responders who charged into those buildings, everyone else is running out. That's why I ran for Congress, because of the events of 9/11. It was a pretty powerful moment for me he literally connected with me during that televised debate that night, and I was a supporter of one of his opponents at that time. But it was pretty powerful. He can connect with people. Gosh, I saw it in the rally when he was there on Thursday. I mean, I'm used to going into rooms in Washington and people all kind of down and dour. Oh, what are we going to do? What was us? All is lost. And you walked into this room, and the energy in that room was unbelievable. And that's what I said. I wasn't really expecting to speak, but they told me to go out there and say something, and it was like, I've never been to a Trump rally before. This is incredible. And it is. The energy that he brings, the involvement that He coaxes it out of people, and that's what he said in his book, The Art of the Deal. At the end of that book, he said, I have, through my life, I've developed a knack for recognizing talent in individuals and bringing that talent out. That's what I'm seeing right now. That's why I'm supporting.
But, Congressman, does Donald Trump represent Republican values as you understand them?
Look, at this point, I think the answer is it may be unconventional, but look, we've had problems at the VA as long as I've been there, through 2 administrations. And why are they never fixed? Because it hasn't been a priority. I believe that Donald Trump will make that a priority.
Now, of course, we still have this issue that there are some Republicans among Republican leadership who still aren't behind him. Do you think somebody's going to try to do something, or there may be some issue at the convention this summer?
No. Donald Trump is a nominee. He won it fair and square. He got more votes. He did it the old-fashioned way. He went out and worked. He met with people. I mean, I can remember one day driving from one place to the other in the district in the morning, listening to the satellite radio, and he was in South Carolina. And by the time I left that event at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, he was in New Hampshire talking to another group. I mean, it's a 69-year-old man who's flying. Of course, he has his own plane, makes it a little easier, but he's flying all. He was putting his energy, he was putting his dollars, if you will, into the campaign to make it happen. And he's doing so because he loves his country and he wants his country to work.
All right. Well, Representative Michael Burgess, it is good to see you.
Good
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I look forward to speaking to you again in a few weeks or months, and we'll check in on the campaign and see what you think.
Probably see you at the convention.
Yes. All right. Thanks so much for joining us.